Welcome back to the Think Strong Network. Did you know that what we often call teenage laziness, well, it might not be laziness at all? In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and uncover why so many teens aren't actually lazy, they're just stuck on autopilot. Okay, let's just paint the picture, because this probably sounds pretty familiar. They wake up late, and what's the first thing they grab? The phone, right? They're scrolling before they even say good morning. They kind of just drift through the school day. No real spark. Then they come home, plug in their headphones or turn on a game, and just check out. It becomes this endless loop. Sleep, repeat, and just kind of survive. It is so easy to just slap that label on it, laziness. Does this whole cycle look familiar in your home? We'd really love to hear about your experience, so let us know in the comments. But here's the twist. What if we've been looking at this all wrong? The source material for this whole explainer suggests this isn't some deep character flaw. It's a state of being. It's called autopilot. So what exactly is autopilot? Well, think of it like this. They are physically there, in the room, but their mind and their heart are somewhere else entirely. They're just disconnected. It's like their life is stuck on a loop, their mind is off the grid, and their soul is just on mute. You know, they're breathing, but they're not really living. So where does this all come from? Well, this autopilot mode doesn't just happen randomly. It's actually born from a very specific mindset, like a hidden script that's quietly running the whole show in the background. Let's take a look at what that script actually says. Okay, so the first line in this hidden script is a big one. For a lot of teens, this idea of finding your grand purpose in life, man, that feels like being asked to climb Mount Everest. It's just huge and overwhelming. So what do? They stick to the flat, predictable path of routine, because you know what? It feels safe. And this just builds right on top of that last idea. When a teen has zero clarity about what's next or what they're called to do, it can create this quiet paralysis. That feeling of uncertainty is so uncomfortable that doing absolutely nothing just feels like the easier default option. And here's another really fascinating layer to this whole thing. Some teens will actually lower the bar for themselves on purpose. And why would they do that? It's a defense mechanism. See, if the expectations are low to begin with, then there's no real risk of disappointing anyone, especially themselves. It's a way to dodge that feeling of failure before it can even happen. So how in the world do we break this cycle? It all starts by changing the question. We have to interrupt that autopilot with evaluation. That's how we can start to wake them up from this drift. You can really see the shift right here. The autopilot loop, it runs on autopilot, right? It's all about mindless habits and routine. But evaluation comes in and acts like a pattern interrupt. It replaces those sleepy habits with awareness. It replaces disconnection with powerful questions. And it replaces routine with real, actual intention. Evaluation really kicks off when we start asking the hard questions, the ones that force us to be aware. A question just like this one. What lie is fueling my autopilot? This is an amazing tool that helps them dig deep and unpack the negative thought that's driving the passive habit. It's all about getting to the root cause. And really, the whole point of this evaluation is to help a teen discover their assignment for whatever season of life they're in right now. Because every single one of them has one. It might be to grow in a certain area, maybe to build a new skill, to heal from something tough, to learn, to lead, or just to rise to a new challenge. Okay, this is where we get super practical. Now that we get the problem and we know what the interrupt is, let's talk about the action plan. How do we actually reboot the system and start building a life of intention? The absolute key is to teach them how to think, not just what to do. And this simple 3-step tool right here, it's incredibly powerful. First, figure out the thought that's driving the habit. Second, challenge that thought with what's actually true. And third, decide on a new action that lines up with that truth. When you change the thought, you change the path. It's that simple. And remember, it's the small wins that awaken a big purpose. We can help them get started by introducing daily micro-missions. These aren't huge, scary tasks. They're small, tangible actions, just like the ones you see here. The moment a teen gets a taste of that progress, autopilot starts to lose its power. So, which of these micro-missions do you think would be most effective for the teens in your life? Let us know what you think below. This right here, this is the core belief we want to help them grab onto. It is such a powerful reframe. Life isn't about just hitting repeat on the same day over and over and over. It's about revealing the destiny that they were made for. And when a teen really gets that they were sent, not just born, man, everything can change. So, what does this whole transformation actually look like when it all comes together? Well, it's this huge, profound shift from just coasting through life to actively moving toward a calling. I mean, the difference between these two states is just night and day. A life on autopilot, it just drains your battery and produces tired teens. But a life that's guided by an assignment, that actually fuels your energy and produces transformed teens who have a real sense of direction. We really hope this explainer has helped you see things in a new light. And just as a reminder, all the concepts we talked about were inspired by material from the Educational Highway. So we'll leave you with this final, powerful thought. You weren't created to coast. You were crafted for a calling. Wake up your assignment. Thanks for watching.